How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Driven by Dreams. Today you join me in a 2019 Lexus LS 500. And if you know me, I am a huge sucker for big luxury sedans just like this, so I am absolutely ecstatic to show you all the features of this car today. Before we get started on this new one though, I want to go back in time a little bit, to 1989, when I was -9 years old. Then Toyota decided that they wanted to make a groundbreaking luxury car, but they didn't want to call it a Toyota. So instead they went with the name Lexus, and the goal was to make a luxury car like no other. And that's exactly what they did with the LS 400, which is actually the predecessor to this very car. That car set a new standard for what it meant to be a luxury sedan, and ever since, that car has kind of been the standard for that. So I guess we're sort of here today to see if this new one meets that criteria of a modern day trendsetter for the luxury sedan. The whole design of this car is based around a Japanese concept called takumi, which in Japanese means artisan. And I'm told that the people who practice this are able to fold an origami cat with their non-dominant hand in 90 seconds. I couldn't fold one in 90 minutes with my dominant hand. So that really says something about what kind of quality and precision goes into making this car. What I can tell you is that I am immediately cozy in this car. You're just absolutely engulfed by all of the gorgeous interior pieces that are, as I said, inspired by takumi. And I'm told that also some pieces on the interior, these pieces here, I don't know if you can see that, on the door panels on a higher trim model, can take up to 4 months to sculpt. That's insane to think about. Driving now at 60 miles an hour, this is probably the smoothest car I've ever been in. From the ride quality to the smoothness of the gear shifts, it is just impeccably smooth. This car is actually built on the same platform as the luxury coupe, the Lexus LC 500, and having quite a bit of seat time in that car as well, I am so excited to get to know this car a little bit better because the LC is a phenomenal car. Also derived from the LC, they've got these two little knobs up above the cluster that you can adjust your drive modes in. So if you push it up once, it puts you into sport mode, and if you push it up twice, it puts you into sport plus, which will hold the gears longer, change the gears faster, and improve your throttle response. Another thing I enjoy is there's a boost gauge in the middle of the tachometer. That is so sweet and something that I think is a cool little touch for this car. But not only is it a boost gauge, you can also put your tire pressure, sway warning, something called sway warning with a coffee cup. So you can have coffee cup, tire pressure, boost gauge, earth, distance to empty, and current miles per gallon. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the boost gauge because I've got it in Sport Plus mode. While we're sort of on the topic of speed and power here, this car is powered by a 3.5-liter V6 that is twin turbocharged and puts out 416 horsepower. This is actually Lexus's first twin turbocharged engine, and it is an absolute treat. This thing is so smooth. And the turbo, there's no turbo lag at all. The turbos are just, they kick in instantly. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it down a few gears to see how that twin turbo V6 sets me back in my seat here. Okay. It just whooshes off. There's no harshness at all. This thing just glides away. But I mean, that was a 30-mile-an-hour increase in, what, a second and a half, 2 seconds? And don't think that this car is all about speed and power, because it definitely isn't. Lexus has sort of introduced this new trackpad system down here, which is kind of like a laptop. It's kind of interesting and a little bit distracting while you're driving, but there's also a button right behind it that has a picture of a seat. And if you press that, that puts you into a whole menu just to adjust the settings on your seat. There's an option here that says driver seat refresh, and basically what that means is massage. And in the menu here, I can choose between 5 different massage settings. Let's go for the whole centripetal. Whoa. This is only on level 1. You've got 5 different levels of intensity for the massage as well. Wow, that is quite intense in the lower section. Whoa, it's onto my back. I feel like I can't really go through this whole review without mentioning the front grille on this car. Lexus has sort of migrated to doing this with all of their cars. When you see a new Lexus, you see that massive front grille. This one's a bit different though. This one just has a bunch of extra lines and different shapes in it that make it appear to change shape as you're walking towards it, which I think is a great feature on this car. This particular car has the Alcantara headliner as well as Alcantara on the door panels, which is my favorite thing in the entire world. If I had to say anything bad about the LS500, I would say that it's a bit too floaty while I'm on the highway. I'm experiencing what experts would call Cadillac weave, and sometimes I'm having to correct more than I should to keep it in between the lines. However, it does have steering assist, so that helps a little bit if it gets away from me too much. I will say it is quite brave for Lexus to be messing around with twin turbos on their luxury sedan, because the original LS400 was known for its rugged reliability out of its naturally aspirated 1UZ V8. So I guess we'll have to see over time how this holds up. There's no telling right now, obviously, because this is such a new model, but I'm very curious to see how the engine and everything about this car really holds up in the long run. This car also has a CD player, which is a bit weird, but hey, my 2003 Lexus still has a cassette player. I've been driving the LS for just over an hour now, and it is an absolute treat for a long road trip. I mean, usually at this point I can feel a little bit of pain in my back. With this car I have none of that. I mean, I'm refreshed, I'm comfortable, and that's what it's all about in a big luxury sedan. I mean, this thing is just fantastic. This car does what it should, and it does it well. To bring this all to a conclusion, this car would be a fantastic candidate for a daily driver. Or, if you want to be driven around, this is also another fantastic candidate, although I would opt for the upgraded seating package, which gives you the rear massage heated and cooled seats. So if you're in the market for a BMW 7 Series or a Mercedes S-Class, definitely take the all-new Lexus LS into consideration. And I'm not being paid by Lexus or anything, I'm just telling you the absolute truth about how fantastic this car really is. And I'm very impressed, but this car is a great demonstration of the sheer quality and impeccable attention to detail that Lexus and Toyota give. So that is going to wrap it up for today's drive of the Lexus LS500. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you know, and have a great rest of your day.